Hey guys, thanks so much for stopping by today. I wanted to talk to you today about a way that you can get your kit small enough where you can bring it on site for portrait shoots, even just bring it around with you day to day if you'd like to, and still have everything that you need in order to take advantage of any situation, even if it's somewhere that you don't have good available light, you need to add light yourself. One of the easier ways that we can do it that we all know is to bounce flash. But what if you're in a situation where you can't add that? What if you're in a really cool location, but it's outside, it's shady, there's not enough light on your subject? You still wanted to be able to add some light. You don't want to use direct flash. You don't have anything to bounce it off of, but you also don't want to be dragging around some huge bag with you everywhere that you go. And I've done some experimentation with different kits, and I've been getting smaller and smaller setups to still be able to do what I need to do. I'll show you some examples here of what you can do with essentially what's in this bag plus a light stand. And I don't think this is cheating to just show this because you can get plenty of human light stands. I mean, there's times that I can hold stuff off to the side and I can still get, good angled lighting with, some fall off doing it from the side. Or if you have an assistant or even just somebody else standing around, you can easily get somebody to just hold something up for you. So I'd say this is a minimalist setup for I. Now this is going to include a crop camera from Sony here. So this, if I was doing a professional shoot like a wedding, I would always use dual cards through something like we have A7 threes just to make sure you're covered. But this is more for casual or basically something where, you know, 99.9% of the time, everything's going to be fine. I've never lost a card. I've never even lost a picture with the ZVE10 that I have in here, but that you can afford to lose them if something like that were to happen. This is a smaller kit using a crop sensor camera, so just keep that in mind. But you could probably cram an A7 III in here if you wanted to as well. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about here is the actual camera that I use. And I've taken tens of thousands of pictures with the ZVE10. I've used it a lot for video stuff, but it also works really well for as a camera, as long as you don't need a viewfinder. I mean, I tend to use the flippy screen for everything anyway. It really helps if you want different angles. You can hold it lower. If you want it higher, obviously you can just, do it like this, and then you have the ability to use it. I'll put some examples here too. We've taken tons and tons and tons of pictures with this. And what's nice is that this camera is small enough to where if you just hang it like this, even if it's not in the bag, this doesn't feel like it's weighing you down. It doesn't feel like something that's going that you like when you put an A7 III around your neck, it kind of, you can just feel it. It's slightly uncomfortable. It's just a little bit annoying. The ZVE10 you can put around your neck and forget about it. My wife, she likes to have a viewfinder, so she has an A6400, which is very similar in terms of what it can do. It just has a viewfinder, slightly different form factor. That one has a flip up screen and not the flip wherever you want to screen. So that's a little bit different. But I also have, and there's a few different pancake lenses, but this is one that I highly recommend here. See if we can get this in focus. Yeah, there we go. So this is the Samyang or Rokinon. I mean, I find you probably want to look at both models because they're the exact same thing. You just want to see whatever you can get the best deal on. I think I got this on sale for $150 used, but I'll put up some more pictures here of what it's capable of doing. But great quick autofocus. You get 2.8 on the aperture on it, which is plenty for most situations. The lens on a crop camera gives you about a 50 millimeter field of view, which is perfect for just, hey, I just want to take some pictures today. 50 is great for, like, 50 is one of those focal lengths that doesn't, it's not, for me anyway, it's not incredible at any one thing, but you can basically get away with it for just about anything. So it's perfect for, I want to take some professional photos, but I don't want to have three lenses and changing things for different situations. I mean, in a professional situation, I really like to have 85 as my preferred focal length, and then to have something wide for those spots where that's not going to work. But for just kind of walking around, if you're walking around town, you're taking family photos, or just something more casual, this is a perfect option for me anyway. I really enjoy using it. But this is good for available light, whatever. This is basically your kit. If that's all, if you're just going to use available light and you're pretty good with that, you don't need flash or anything, then I'm not sure if this video is going to have a lot of value for you. But this, like, there's a lot of days that I would just take this around and I can do great pictures with this and be perfectly happy with the results that I get from it. But what if you're in a situation where you not only want to be able to walk around with this, but you've gotten to where I have, which is that you may be in a beautiful situation or with people that you really want to get a picture of, but the available light is just not good. Maybe it's harsh, or maybe you're in the sun where it's backlit really heavily, and you're not able to get the kind of quality of photos that you would like to get, but you also don't want to be bringing around some kind of huge bag with you. Well, that's where I'm going to talk about what else is in this bag here. So one of the things that I really like and which works well is this diffusion deal right here. So this looks like nothing. I think on Amazon this is $10-12, but if you buy it from AliExpress, I think I got like three. I think they were about $3 a piece. I bought like 3 or 4 of them just so that I'd have them. This doesn't look like a whole lot, but what it does have, you see it's got the metal reflection stuff inside of it, and it also has, I'll be able to show you here, but it's got Velcro inside of it. So for me, what I do with this, and it's not, this is not huge, but two things that this can do. One, this can act as a direct diffuser, where rather than doing a very small hard light on somebody, you can use this if you wanted to, like, just keep it simple on top of your camera. You put this on top of your flash and it gives you a little bit more diffusion. So it's not quite as harsh as direct light, is just coming off of the flash. What I also like to use it for is a second layer of diffusion if you were going to be doing bounce flash. So why would you want to do that? Well, most soft boxes, things like that, they have multiple layers of diffusion on them. So what this allows you to do is to create your own dual layer diffused light. So even say if I was behind me here and it was a white wall and I wanted to use this, I would put this on the flash, I'd point it over my head like this. So it's coming out here. You're getting a single light, a single layer of diffusion already, which you lose a little bit of light for, but it's really not that much, actually. I think it's less than a stop, if I remember right. And you can bounce it off the wall. It's already diffused, and then when it comes back, you get even softer, more a more gradual fall off of light using this. I've already done a video showing how this works, I believe, and I have tested this extensively. So this isn't me just conjecture like, oh, I think it looks better. Like I actually took the pictures, measured them side by side, looked at the light levels and the differences between them, and it definitely does what I just said. And I think it does it better than like one of these diffusion cups here. So what this does, it makes light kind of going off all in all different directions, which is great for a smaller room if you want to get more even light around somebody. But I don't find that it softens the light. If anything, it can actually make some light kind of harder for whatever reason. I think the direct light, it's actually kind of hard. But what it will do is disperse the light. So you can use this to behind an umbrella too. It makes it go out a little bit farther, then it'll make it go around the room too. So somebody has got more light coming from more angles, which can give you the impression that it's softer, but just know outside or something like that, this isn't going to do you any good. Like, unless you got stuff to bounce it off of all over the place, this isn't really going to help any. This does, though. It acts like a little mini, super basic single layer softbox and will give you that diffusion material that it will come out of. So there's two ways that you can do this. You can put this on top of your flash and have that on top of your camera and just shoot that directly, and it'll help a little bit. Or you can put it on top of your flash, and then you could be holding your flash to the side with this on top of it. Or you can, put this on the flash and then mount the flash with, I guess I'll probably cut out here so I can actually show you guys what this all looks like. But you can use this, and then you can use an umbrella in front of this. So now you got 2 layers of diffusion, just like the bounce situation that I was describing. And you can do this all in this super tiny kit here that you can put together yourself and you can hand hold. So let me show you what that looks like here. And again, everything that I'm grabbing, it's all out of this one. Everything is in here. So I would take my flash out. So now I've got this flash, and it's super easy to put on. If you set up your TT350 like I did, it basically has, there we go. The TT350 has got some, what's this called? Velcro around the top of it already that you use. You're going to be using that for your filters. If you don't know why you would do that, feel free to ask me. I can explain that. But the short version of that is that if you're in a room that incandescent lights, this kit also comes with orange filters, and then you put that over the top of it so that you can put your camera on incandescent, and this is also incandescent. So you got two same colors going, and that way the light in the room doesn't look weird. But I digress. So you're using these here and the Velcro that is on this guy. Oops, let's do it upside down. Oh, that's fine, I guess. So, okay. So I did the Velcro, and then it's got these little straps. You go around. And so now here's your little mini softbox, right? So this is not the best looking, setup in the world. Like if you just go up and you start shooting people with this, this isn't going to look the greatest, but this is also it's going to give you directional light, and it's a much bigger, and it's a diffused light source compared to what you would get with just having this with just direct flash if there's nothing over the top of it. So that's one thing that you could do if you're holding this in your hand. But then you say, well, how am I doing that? You're already holding the flash, right? And then I need a trigger. That's going to take up a lot of room inside of the bag. Well, one of the nice things about the new X3 trigger here, I recommend you get this. This is about $100. You need to buy it for the brand that you have. Like me, I've got all Godox stuff, so this is all based on you having Godox gear. But if you bought that TT350 and you had this, for your ultimate mobile, super, tiny setup, and this came with a case, but I couldn't find it at the moment. So you probably want that. They also make little screen protectors for this. If you do want to, run around with it, just thrown in your bag, I recommend you at least do that. So you put that into here. And the one thing that's nice about this, like with the ZVE10, is that it doesn't always play nice with with some of the other Godox flashes. Like you got to put it in just the right angle for it to make contact. And once it's in there, it's fine. But it was really frustrating for me at first. I'd lose connection. It would kind of come and go. But I think that was just because of the angle that it was in there, and you got to do it like perfectly, and they're plasticky and so on and so forth. This one always goes in pretty easy. Let's see if it still does this on. And you hear a little click, and that's it. So now the super tiny little setup here, this is my flash trigger. So I can use that to remotely control this. So that's one way that I could do it. I could walk around like this, right? But what if I wanted a better setup? What if it's more, I need something a little bit more professional? I don't want such hard light to be on my subject. Well, this is a shoot through umbrella. Now, so often I see, even in videos and everything, I find it kind of strange that even photographers that are outside will lug around these huge soft boxes. And from my testing, I double checked this, and this is what I thought would happen: is that the soft boxes, the main reason why there's value in the softbox and what it does is in studio environments, it helps sculpt the light, right? Like it's got black on the side, it's got black on the back of it. So it's a very directional light, especially if you then add a grid to it. You have the ability to really control the light with the softbox. You get multiple layers of diffusion, which are a little bit helpful. But in general, a lot of the benefit that it has over an umbrella is that it controls the light more. So that if you're in a small room, the umbrella with this thing, it's going to bounce all over the place, right? It's going to hit the back of the umbrella. It's going to go back. It's going to go off the walls all over the place. Sometimes that can be a benefit. Like if you want a more even light, kind of like what we were talking about with the little diffusion cup. Sometimes you want light bouncing all over the place. But if you want to be able to control it, softboxes make more sense for that. They allow more directionality. They allow more, contrast because stuff isn't bouncing off the walls as much in smaller rooms. That's the big benefit of it. If you're lugging that around in a park, to me, I mean, feel free to tell me a situation where it makes a lot of sense. I do have some really light setups that I think that I've considered bringing around and are kind of expensive. But in general, the more that I've thought about it and the more I've experimented, the more goofy it is to be lugging around some big softbox outside in an area where there's nothing for light to bounce off of. So what that means is that not necessarily that a softbox isn't doing as well outside. It's still going to do just as well outside. It's that the diffusion umbrella, none of the downsides of having it apply when you're outside. There's nothing for it to bounce off of. So essentially, you're losing a layer of diffusion, but other than that, it's doing the exact same thing as a softbox. It's just some diffused, directional light, but you only have one layer of diffusion. But that's where this comes in, is that I already added one layer of diffusion. So what if I could easily, in a very lightweight way, I could mount this, and then I can have the umbrella in front of it, and now I have essentially what is the equivalent of a softbox that I can use outside. And I just showed you all this stuff will fit in this little box. It's super light, it's super thin. What allows you to do that is diffusion umbrellas are small anyway, but this one is, and I ordered another one that's smaller from AliExpress, and I'm hoping that one breaks down. But what makes this one magical is that this is a 33-inch umbrella. So it's big, but you saw how small it folded down. The reason it does that is that it's got two layers of tubes here. So it basically, I can hold this, bring it down, and now it's super short. So this gives me like a 33-inch equivalent to a softbox, basically, between this and this. So these two things, and it folds down into this. This is all you're bringing with you. This is tiny, right? But you're probably still saying, well, how do you even connect? Now you've got these two things, but how does all this stuff work? How would you even do it? If I wanted to handhold all this and make it work, this seems like a big goofy contraption that you gotta put together, right? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, let me show you what it takes to do this. Again, everything fit in this one little container right here. So inside I have two things. And I recommend if you're going to buy something like this, they make super cheap ones, and I have some of those too that don't have the cranks, and they've got little plasticky wheel things, and those will work if you have to. But I'd recommend buying the higher quality one. This one it actually has, like, it's all metal. It's got nice connectors on the side. It's got this little guy on the top so that you can tighten it yourself with your hands. I would recommend that you do that because this is just so much better, and it's only like a few dollars more. And this is going to be something that you're counting on to be able to hold on to all of your stuff. Here, I'm missing a little piece of it. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the piece that you need out. I think it comes in the box with it, but if not, these are really inexpensive to get as well. And this is, there we go. This basically gives you the little tiny thread and I forget what size threads these are, but this is basically what you need. I think this is a 1/4 inch, but on this, you're going to need this to connect to the other part. So you just have this here, and you're using your 1/4 inch thread here, and you connect that. And the reason you connect that, oh, might have done it backwards here. Oh, yeah, duh. Had a brain fart. Okay, so this part is the part that screws onto your little handle. So you're going to put that in, and then you tighten this so that it's stuck in there. So this whole thing works like you can put it on top of a light stand if you want to, but once you add this little metal guy here with a 1/4 inch thread, well, now you can use it with a handle, like this handle thing that I got here. So you can take into here, okay? So now you have got a completely, handheld deal here. So I put the umbrella goes through right here, and the flash will go up right here. So I'll go ahead and do that part too. And as much as you want to, like some of the stuff you can already have it pre-put together, just depending on how much time, you basically are leveraging how much time you want to spend on it on site versus how compact you want it to be in your bag. So you can feel free to mix and match on that. But essentially I took the Godox call it little turkey guy here, then screwed that into the quarter-inch area. I'm going to slide in the flash so that I can see the back of it, and then tighten it down on the turkey. So now that's in there nice and tight. And I can turn this around so that the light is going to be, facing away from me. Then I'm going to take this, and where's the mounting? There it is. Okay, I first put the Velcro up on it like that. Take this around like this. Okay, so that's my first, layer of diffusion that I have now. And then I am taking the umbrella. And, it's totally up to you. You can put this together ahead of time. If you're not going to want to spend the 5 minutes out there, you can always have something like this. I've basically had this set up where I walked around with this, before, and just, on site, I basically just followed the people that I was photographing out there, with it, and walked around, and this was my mobile setup. And this is also why I uh I just bought a another umbrella, because this is a little unwieldy to be like your run and gun thing. I made it work. It's fine. But ideally, a little bit smaller umbrella here would be good. But if you can follow what I'm saying here, basically, you know, y- you can get off to the side, hold this, and have diffuse lighting off to the side, or have somebody else who is working with you doing that. It'd be in my left hand, not my right hand, but same deal. And you see, you've got two layers of diffusion. You've got your own light, and you can break it down and put it in your little pack, super duper easy. So it's I've used it. It's worked great for on site. I've had excellent luck with it, and I keep trying to replace it with, like, more expensive, more complicated, things, but the problem is that you just end up with more bulk, and this is something that I can have with me anywhere if I want to, and I could have, like, a lot of times me and my wife will work together, so she can hold the diffusion, or I can hold it, or, we can get a third person to hold it if we needed to for some reason. But there's almost always gonna be a situation where, I mean, worst case, look at how much I can get it way off to the side and still take my pictures and get some angled, diffusion. And the light actually looks really good, when you use it with this. And then if I need to walk around, I don't have, like, I have this Angler softbox. It was like $200, super thin, super light, magnetic. It's all awesome, like very easy to put together. But the problem with it is that I still end up with this bulk of this large thing that I got to carry around with me. It can't be like put into a little, uh, you know, I'm not going to be able to get it back in something like this and throw it over my shoulder. So, the last part of this that I have not solved is getting, if you don't have any, if you want it to be held off to the side, but you don't want to hold it, and you don't want anybody else to, like, if you're just going to be there solo and you need something like that and you need to bring a light stand, that's a separate set of issues. I've tried like selfie sticks. They can be compacted really small, but they're fine until you add the umbrella, and then the size of it just kind of makes it want to fall over. There are pretty small light stands if you don't mind bringing that, but I really was trying to break it down to something I could just keep over my shoulder. And to me, this was, the best solution that I could come up with. And I've had good luck with it so far. So anyway, if you have any better ideas or anything to add to it, I'd love to hear it. I'll leave links below for what you would need to buy in order to do this. And yeah, I just wanted to give back a little bit. I spent a lot of time scratching my head and trying different stuff, and this is the solution that's worked best for me. And I'm curious if anybody else has a better idea. If so, I haven't found it on YouTube. I haven't seen anything like that works better. I do owe a debt to Marcus Picks. A lot of these pieces and parts that are here, he had suggested or found, or people had told him about. And then from there, I kind of started connecting the dots and seeing what kind of solution I can come up with. But This has worked amazing. I've gotten incredible results out of using this. This diffusion allows, trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure directionally. So usually when you add a light to the front of this, because it's not quite in the center, it kind of creates a spot. Well, the extra diffusion and then it moving away basically helps to fill up the entire umbrella with light. And this has worked amazingly well for me. There's probably a less janky way to do this, but this has worked awesome for me. So anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think. See if you have any suggestions for a better way to do this or any other ideas. And I thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day.